I am the video game addict, and today we'll be taking a look at Roller Coaster Tycoon. Before we talk about the game, I want everyone to think back to when they were in primary school, and when they went to an amusement park during those times. Looking around at all the roller coasters and thinking, wow, these are so cool. Look at that one, and that other one. Wow!
Wow!
Looking around at these and wanting to build some of your own was a common occurrence when you were a child. That is why on March 31st, 1999, microprose released the original Roller Coaster Tycoon. In this game, you got to manage a park through 22 scenarios. Now, there's no sandbox mode, but most of these scenarios would drop you into a blank canvas and say, here's some money, make a park, and try to get to a certain point. While others would just give you a park and say, try to make a ton of money. One of the good things about this game is most of the boring stuff is pretty well hidden. While you do have to pay a fee to get a worker, whether it's a maintenance guy or a guy in a suit, you do have to pay a fee for that, as well as a fee for food and drinks in the certain carts. But they aren't really in your face like most games would have them. So a child just has to worry about making awesome roller coasters within their budget. While the graphics do only look to be about 32 bits, the way the camera angle is and the way everything meshes together perfectly, the game holds up fairly well, at least to me, and definitely deserves the scores it got, roughly around an 8 to 9 out of 10 area, which then spawned off so many different forms of tycoons throughout the years. Hundreds of versions of Roller Coaster Tycoon, Zoo Tycoon, Transport Tycoon, Railroad Tycoon, Airport Tycoon, Business Tycoon, Fast Food Tycoon, Casino Tycoon, Monopoly Tycoon, Raccoon Tycoon, Oil Tycoon, Skate Park Tycoon, Lemonade Tycoon, Tycoon Tycoon, Nintendo Tycoon, Fake Tycoon, and so many more. Becoming the owner of a big company is huge for everyone, and the gameplay for the most part of these games is almost exactly the same. Play stuff, let the stuff do its stuff, and sit back and then add more stuff. However, throughout the building, you do fulfill certain objectives. Fulfill these objectives, beat the stage. Beat 22 stages, and beat the game. Do this about 6 more times, and you've defeated all of the Roller Coaster Tycoon, and have become the Roller Coaster Tycoon Master. However, a lot of people before you have done this and done it in better ways, so you're not as good as you think. I'm sorry. Roller Coaster Tycoon ended up being so popular that Parker Brothers decided we needed a board game of it. So, let's see how this game is played. This game is very similar to Monopoly, while being completely different at the same time. You'll see what I mean as I explain it. In this game, there are 3 3D models that go on the board. The steel roller coaster, the wooden roller coaster, and the woe belly. The other roller coasters are cards that go face down on the board at the beginning of the game. Each player gets 2 attraction cards. These 2 then get flipped over on the board, as well as each player getting $3 million. You also have the choice of buying a handyman or repairman, but we'll talk about them in a minute. On your turn, the first thing you will do is draw an event card, and do the action stated. The first kind is a normal action, whether a bathroom break, it's hot, raining, or all players collect $500,000, these are the easiest to explain. The next are the close signs. You see, in the game there are 2 close signs placed somewhere around the park. If it is on a certain roller coaster, and a family lands on that roller coaster, no one is allowed to get guest points for that roller coaster. With this card, you pick it up and move the 2 closed signs to any roller coasters you choose. The next kind is the auction card, and there are 4 types of auctions. These are auction, double open, blind, or double blind. These seem self-explanatory. In the normal auction, you bid on one ride. In the blind auction, you don't know what you're bidding on. And the same rules apply to the double blind and double auctions, but with two cards. The final type of card is an advanced 1 month card, and there are three variants. With 8 of them, all the players move forward 1 month on the board and collect $100,000. In the other two, you need a handyman or mechanic to fix a ride or clean up the park, respectively. Both of these will cost $200,000 if you pick this card. However, you can avoid this depending on the number of players, depends on the price. At the beginning of the game only, you can buy these two for $200,000 to $400,000 each. The less players, the more it costs. Now, this is definitely a risk. Let's say there's 2 players. Each of you pays $800,000 up front for the handyman and mechanic. Now, you can either save that much because you picked up all of the cards, saving you an extra $800,000. Or that's an $800,000 bill that you wouldn't have had to pay to begin with. It's a risk, but it's a calculated one. Most likely, you're going to be getting cards telling you to pay $800,000 over the course of the game. It's a 50-50 chance of whether you get them all or your friend gets them all. I need to mention now that other than throughout the event cards, there is no way to collect more money. So you are taking a risk of spending $1.6 million throughout the game if you do not pay for them up front. After you work the event card, you roll 2 dice. Once you move a family to the correct space, you then do one of 3 things, depending on who owns the space. If no one owns it, then no one gets anything. If you land on a space that your friend owns, you both get the guess points. If you land on one you own, you get double the guess points. Whoever has the most guess points at the end wins the game. While the board game does seem very complicated to jump right into, once you're actually playing the game, it's actually not that bad. I know I did throw a ton of rules and regulations at you guys when it comes to this game, but it does work surprisingly well. As for the actual video game itself, it spawned so many sequels that it obviously worked. It's such a fun game to just jump into and create some awesome roller coasters. This game has been around since '91, and I see it around for the foreseeable future. Actually, at PAX recently, I saw a lot of people made roller coasters. A lot of the YouTubers I watch made different roller coasters, posted them on Twitter, and made videos about an upcoming roller coaster game. I am excited for this as well as many more. We all just have to sit back and watch this game work its magic into the foreseeable future.